Hello, this is Jamie with Creations Misfit, and today I'm going to show you how to make a wasp nest, which here is mine, if you can kind of see in here. These are really good. I found out about these a few years ago, and I wanted to write up my own pattern. I've seen a lot out there, but these are really good to hang in areas where the wasps get to, and I guess they will not go to another nest that's not theirs or another hive, so they steer clear of it, and they are tricked by these for some reason. I tried it out myself last year and we had such great success with it, and again this year. So I wanted to just show you an easy way to make this nest, and you can use it for yourself or give it to somebody else or sell them, whatever you'd like. If you do sell them, please just let people know where to find my pattern. I will probably do a written pattern for it as well, but as of right now, I only have the video tutorial. But I will put all the words up on the screen, or the written part of the pattern. So if you'd like to put me on mute, you can do that and just follow along. Or if you feel like I'm going too fast or too slow, you can always pause the video or change the speed of the video as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. What you will need, and this is, you can use different stuff. You don't have to use what I'm using, but today I'm going to use 2 strands of size 4 together, just because I didn't have a size 5 bulky in the color that I wanted. So I would suggest using either a size 5 bulky or a size 6 super bulky, or you could use 2 strands of size 4 yarn, which is what I'm going to do today. Just hold them together. And then I'm going to use a 6.5 millimeter hook. And again, if you only have a 6 or a 7 or an 8, whatever, depending on what yarn you're using, you can just use whatever is best for you. The sizing doesn't really matter. It just has to be, a decent size, but if it's smaller than mine or bigger than mine, it's no big deal. Every wasp nest is a different size. So just use what you have on hand. I would suggest using like a neutral color, something that mimics their coloring of a nest. So it could be a light gray or like a cream color, or like this is a tan. This is, what was this? Oh, this was Big Twist yarn, Big Twist Value, and this one is Lion Brand. I forget the name of it. I don't know. I'll think about it, or I'll put the name up here. Okay. Oh, Heartland is what it is. So I'm just going to hold those 2 together. And then you will need a pair of scissors and a yarn needle to sew in your ends. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Normally I use a lighter background, but because my yarn is this light, I'm doing a dark background for today. It kind of, I did clean it, but it kind of picks up every little nick and piece of yarn, so I apologize about that. All right, so let's get started. Okay, I also wanted to say, I forgot, you're going to need some kind of stuffing. I'm using these like grocery bags, plastic grocery bags to stuff mine with. If you use polyfill and it gets wet, it's going to be really disastrous and probably ruin your nest and get real soggy and hold that water. So I would not suggest using polyfill for this. Just if you have some kind of plastic or bubble wrap or something like that, you could just kind of stuff it to keep its shape. And it doesn't have to be stuffed well, just a little bit in there. So let me zoom in a little bit here. Okay, to get started, we are going to start with a magic circle. And I know this isn't everybody's favorite thing, but I'm just going to show you a real easy way to use it. If you need more time with it, I do have a video that goes over it a little bit more slowly, and I'll put a little card up here. You can click on that and then come back to this one. But it's really simple this way. I find that it stays well, and I love to do this version. So I just hold my, and again, I'm holding 2 pieces. You might only have 1 piece of yarn, so I hope that's not distracting. Okay, hold it over 3 fingers like this, and then just wrap it around those 3 and make an X in the back of your hand. You can hold your pinky down there to keep it in place. And then you'll just put your hook underneath the first strand and over the second one. And then if you just pull up, you have a magic circle right there, and you can pull that off of your fingers as is, but we are going to chain 1 from here. So I like to do that while it's on my hand, and that way it keeps it more secure. So just go underneath this here and do your chain. Okay, just wrap that around and do chain. So if you need more time with that, you can rewind this, you can pause it, you know, go a little bit, like put it on slow motion, or check out my other video for it and come back. All right, and from here we are going to do 6 half double crochet inside the magic circle. So you're just going right inside here, and we're going to do 6 half double crochet. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, and we are going to slip stitch into the very first half double crochet that we made. So you may need to count your stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and just do a slip stitch into that first one to close up our first round. Okay, and moving on to round 2, we're going to chain up 1, and we will do 2 half double crochet in every stitch around. So we're just going to do an increase round, and you can just start right in this very first stitch where your stitch slip stitch is, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Oops. And then we're going to do another half double crochet in that very same stitch for an increase. Okay, you're just going to do that all the way around. 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and the next, and the next, and you should end with 12 half double crochet at the end of this round. So I'm going to pause and do mine off camera. You can pause, and then we'll meet each other back at the end of this round. Okay, at the end of round 2, you should have 12 stitches. It might look like you have an extra stitch there. That's because we went into that very first one, and so that's just actually like the slip stitch. Okay, so we're going to slip stitch to the very first half double crochet that we made, and you'll have 12 for round 2. All right, moving on to round 3, we're going to chain up 1, and then we're going to do a half double crochet in the very first stitch, and then we'll increase in the stitch after that. So we'll do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. And that's going to be our repeat pattern for round 3. We'll do 1 half double crochet, and then we'll go to the next stitch and we'll do an increase. So we'll do 2 in that one. And you'll do that all the way around for round 3, and we'll slip stitch to the front or to the top of the very first one. And at the end of round 3, you should have 18 stitches. So I will meet you back after that. All right, here we are at the end of round 3 with 18 stitches. We'll move right on to round 4. So go ahead and chain up 1, and we are going to do a half double crochet in the first 2 stitches, just 1 in each of those, and then we'll increase after that. So we'll do 2 half double crochet in that third stitch, and that will be your repeat pattern around. For round 4, we'll do 1, 1, and then 2 in that next stitch. Okay, and at the end of round 4, we'll slip stitch to the very first half double crochet, and we will have 24 stitches when we come back around. Okay, I've finished up my round 4 and slip stitched, and we'll move on to round 5. I just wanted to say this is a really forgiving pattern. I mean, nobody, it's not like this is a gift where somebody's going to be using it other than outside or anything. If you miss a stitch here or there, or, you know, something is just a little bit off, it's no big deal. Like, do not stress about that, okay? So for round 5, we're going to start with a chain 1, which I already did, and we're going to do a half double crochet in the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3, and then we'll increase after that in the 4th stitch. We'll do 2 half double crochet in that stitch, and that will be your repeat pattern for round 5. So remember to do 1 half double crochet in the first 3, and then an increase after that, and you'll end with an increase, and we will have 30 stitches, and you'll slip stitch as well. I'll see you after round 5. All right, end of round 5, we have 30 stitches. And I just want to say also really quickly, this seam is going to start going off to the side. Like, I'll show you on this one. Where is it? Yeah, it kind of starts here and goes off to the side. if you want to negate that, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, this is just going to be outside. But if you don't want that to happen, you could do one of two things. You can, after we do our chain one at the end of every round, you can turn your work and work this way, and then at the next, you just switch back and forth every round, and that will keep it straight. Or because we're going into the very first stitch every time where our chain is, that's why it's going off this way. If you want to, every other round, start your next round in the first stitch after that, and then you'll end a little bit closer to that. So you still have to do the same amount of stitches, but you'll just start one over, and then the next round go back to this, you know, go back, if that makes sense. It really does not matter. I do not care either way with this project, but some people, you know, might not like the look of it. So I wanted to throw that out there. So for this round, I'll probably start here just to kind of pull this back a little bit. All right, so starting with round 6, or going on to round 6, we start with a chain 1, and we're going to half double crochet into the first 4 stitches. So we do 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do our increase after that into the next stitch. So 2 half double crochet into the next stitch. And you'll do that all the way around for round 6, and you will have 36 stitches when you get to the end. So I'll meet you back there. Okay, I'm at the end of round 6, and I just want to show you, because I started 1 stitch over and I didn't go in right where that slip stitch was, I have done my 4 stitches, and I need to do my increase still. So you'll go in, you know, normally we would skip this part, but I'm going to go into here to finish up my last 2 stitches for my increase. And then you'll still just slip stitch to the very first half double crochet that you made, but it'll just be over a little bit. So just in case anybody else wanted to do that, but like I said, it's no big deal. All right, so moving on to round 7, we're going to chain up 1, and we will do a half double crochet in the first 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we will increase after that, so 2 half double crochet in the next. Repeat that around for round 7, and we will have 42 stitches at the end of this round. All right, here we are at the end of round 7. You should slip stitch to the very first, and we'll have 42 stitches. All right, so let's move on to round 8. So for round 8, we're just going to do a half double crochet in every stitch around. We're going to start with a chain 1, but we're going to do back loop only stitches. And this is a preference. This just makes it look more like a hive, because it gives it, this is what the back loop only does. It gives it this little bit of texture in the front. So you can see, hopefully, hold on, let me zoom out a little bit. You can see how this comes about. These are back loop only rounds. So if you don't want that, you just want to do regular half double crochets for the whole thing, that's fine. It's just going to be the same shape. It's just not going to have these extra bits that make it look more like a nest. But the choice is yours. So let me, whoops, there's my table. Let me show you, if you're not familiar with a back loop only half double crochet, we're just going to do regular half double, but you're just going in the back loop. So normally, let me get my thing here. Normally you go through the entire stitch where the V is here, right? Where we would go into here, and then here's the front loop only. Here is the back loop only. So we're just gonna do our stitch into that so that this front loop stands out. All right, so I'm gonna not go into the one with the slip stitch because it's a little hard to grab. So I'll go into the next one, and we're still gonna do the same amount around. So we will do 42 back loop only half double crochets. So just do your regular half double crochet, but we're just gonna pick up this back loop only. Okay, and then just do your regular double crochet or half double crochet. And you'll do that in every stitch around. So here's the, like, because I turned my work, you can kind of see, here's the back loop, back loop, back loop, back loop. We're just going to go underneath all of those. And it's really quite simple once you get going on it. But like I said, if you want to just do regular half double crochets, that's totally fine. You can do that as well. All right, so this is round 8. I'm going to do my back loop onlys. and slip stitch when we get to the first one, and you will have 42 stitches at the end of this round. And here we are at the end of round 8. So moving right on to round 9, we are going to chain up 1, and we will do just 1 regular half double crochet in every stitch around for round 9. So once again, we will end with a slip stitch, and then you will have 42 half double crochets at the end of round 9, and I'll meet you back after that. Here we are at the end of round 9, 42 stitches, and we will chain 1 and start round 10. So for round 10, we're going to do back loop only, half double crochets again. So, but we're going to do, the first 4 are going to be back loop only, half double crochet, because we're going to increase again. So let's go into the first. We'll do 4 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to do an increase after that. So we're still going in the back loop only, but we're going to do 2 half double crochets in that one. All right. And as you can see, this was our back loop only round from before, and this is our round from now. So you can see that front loop gets pushed out to give it more texture. All right, so for round 10, you're going to do that all the way around. You do 4 half double crochets in the back loop only, and then an increase. And when you get around, you'll have 50 stitches. But when you come back around, it's not going to add up to like where you end with a increase. You'll have 2 stitches at the end, and you'll just do 2 regular back loop only half double crochets in those last 2 stitches. Okay, so I'll come back around with you and do the end with you, but you'll have 50 stitches after round 10. All right, I'm coming to the end of round 10 here, and I just did my last increase, and I'm at 48 stitches, so I still have 2 stitches to go, and that's fine. You just do your half double crochet in the back loop for the next 2 stitches so that you reach 50. Okay, it's just not going to end with an increase like we normally do. And then you will slip stitch to your very first, and that's the end of round 10. So this is about where we should be. And moving on, we are going to do the same thing for, not the same thing as 10, but for rounds 11, 12, and 13, we are going to chain up 1, and we're just going to do a back loop only, half double crochet all the way around for those 3 rounds, 11, 12, and 13. So you will have 50 stitches at the end of each of those rounds, and you can start your round 11. I'm going to do 11, 12, and 13 and come back and meet you after that. Alright, I just finished up round 13 and we will go on to round 14. So you will chain up 1 and we're going to do a half double crochet in the first 7 stitches. Whoops. Let me do that again. Alright, so we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we will increase after that. So we'll do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, and that will be your repeat pattern around for round 14. You can see here I've been kind of alternating, like I said, starting in the first stitch and then the next one every other row, and this is straightening my seam here to where here you can kind of tell it was starting to go that way, just so you can see the difference. Alright, so for round 14, 7 half double crochet and then an increase. When you get to the end, it's not going to end up like where you end with an increase again, but that's okay. Just do it until you get to 56 stitches is what we'll have at the end of round 14. So I'll meet you back after that. Coming up to the end of round 14, and you can see here I did my last increase and I still have 2 stitches to get to 56. So that's fine, we'll do that, and slip stitch to the very first, half double, and we are all done with round 14. So moving on to round 15, we will do a chain to start, and we're just going to half double crochet in every stitch around. So you will do 56 half double crochets for round 15 with a slip stitch at the end like normal. Okay, and I'll see you after round 15. Welcome back after round 15. So we are going to go on to round 16, start with a chain 1, And for round 16, we're going to do back loop only, half double crochets all the way around. So just one back loop only, half double crochet in every stitch around, and you will have 56 at the end of this round. So end with a slip stitch, and then after this we're going to start decreasing to make it smaller. So this is kind of the middle. All right, so I will see you after round 16. And here we are at the end of round 16 with 56 stitches. So let's go to round 17, chain up 1, and we are going to do 7 half double crochet and then a decrease. Okay, so just regular half double crochets we'll do in the first 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then we'll increase after, or I'm sorry, we're going to decrease after that. So if you're unfamiliar with a decrease, you're just going to go into the stitch like a regular half double crochet, yarn over and pull up a loop, and then we're going to go directly into the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. And that's decreasing or putting 2 stitches together. All right, so let's do another one of those just in case. So we'll do 7 regular half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to decrease. So go ahead and start like you normally would for a half double crochet. Yarn over and pull up a loop, and instead of yarning over and pulling through, we're going to go directly into the next stitch to put it together. Yarn over and pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, or I have 8 because I'm pulling through or holding 2 together, and yarn over and pull through all 4, and there's your decrease. Okay, so you're going to do that all the way around for round 17, and you'll have 50 stitches when you get to the end. Slip stitch, and I'll meet you back. Alright, end of round 17, we have 50 stitches, and we'll move right on to 18. We're going to chain up 1, and we'll just do a regular half double crochet in every stitch all the way around. Okay, and that will leave us with 50 stitches after our slip stitch, so I will see you back after round 18. Welcome back from round 18, and moving right along, we are going to do round 19, where we start with a chain 1, which I already did, and we're going to back loop only, half double crochet in every stitch around. So we will do one more round of 50 in just the back loops only, and then we will start decreasing again after this round. So after round 19, you will slip stitch and have 50 stitches. Alright guys, we are at the end of round 19, so here is where we should be. The back of our project and the front, looking good. Let's start with round 20, and we will start with a chain 1, and then we're going to do 5 half double crochet, or half double crochet in the first 5 stitches, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we will increase or decrease, I'm sorry. So used to saying increase. Then we're going to decrease next. So yarn over, pull up a loop, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 4. Okay, so that's for round 20. You're going to repeat that 5 half double crochet and then a decrease, and at the end you will have 43 stitches and we'll slip stitch. Okay, so I'll see you after round 20. Alright, end of round 20, and we will go on to round 21. So chain up 1, and we're going to do a round of back loop only half double crochet. Okay, so just 1 back loop only half double crochet in every stitch around for round 21, and you will have 43 stitches at the end of this round. I'll see you after this. Okay, end of round 21 here. We have 43 stitches, and we're just getting to the top here, so not much longer. Hang with us. And so starting round 22, we're going to do, we're going to chain 1, and we will do 3 half double crochet. So half double crochet in the first 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do a decrease. Okay, and that will be our pattern all the way around for round 22. And at the end of this round, you'll do a slip stitch and you'll have 34 stitches. Okay, so do 3 half double crochet, decrease all the way around. Welcome back. We are done with round 22. Moving on to round 23, we'll do a chain 1, and then we're going to back loop only, half double crochet all the way around. So just 1 back loop only, half double crochet in every stitch around, and we will have 34 stitches at the end of this round. Be sure to do a slip stitch when you get to the back to the beginning, and I'll see you after round 23. Okay guys, we're getting close to the top here. This is where we should be. It's getting pretty large, and we'll move on to round 24. Sorry, I'm like shaking my whole table here. Okay, so for round 24, we're going to chain 1, and we'll do a half double crochet in each of the first 2 stitches. Just 1 half double crochet in each, and then decrease. And we'll do that all the way around, and you'll have 26 stitches when you get around after round 24. Okay, so I will just do this a little bit here with you. I just want to say thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far, and I appreciate you being here. I have a lot of tutorials and stitch tutorials and patterns and different kinds of things on my YouTube channel. Now I just lost myself. Where was I at? Hold on. Okay, sorry. Thought I messed up my count. But yeah, I have a lot here. If you'd like to subscribe, I'd love to have you, and that way you'll get notified when I have new videos. But if you'd like to take a look back at some of the other ones I have, like I said, I have all different kinds of stuff, blankets and hats and scarves and bags and stitch tutorials. I do yarn hauls from the yarns that I buy from different stores. I do yarn giveaways sometimes, so it's great to subscribe because then you get notified. I mean, it's not annoying, you know, notifications, because it's just every so often, but you can take a look back at what I have already. And also, if you'd like to comment below, I'd love to know how this worked out for you, or like what kinds of yarn you used, what if you ended up using a size 5 or a size 6, or if you did the 2 strands together. Just all the things, or how this even worked, you know, if you're noticing that the wasps are staying away now. I like to read comments. I always message everybody back. And yeah, if you could like the video, comment below. Let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to make a tutorial for. I try to work on that as well. I have so many ideas, but just, you know, not always enough time, so I do my best. But I do appreciate you being here, so thank you so much for watching. Alright, we're coming up to the end here. Do my last one for round 26, and my yarn is getting all knotted up, so I gotta fix that. Alright, so we're going to slip stitch at the end of round 26. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'm at the end of round 24. You should have 26 stitches at the end of round 24. Alright, so slip stitch here. And then let's go right on to round 25. You're going to chain up 1, and we're just going to do a half double crochet in every stitch around. So let's go ahead and do a half double crochet, and you will have 26. Oh, you know what? If you want to, you could do it now or after this round. If you want to start stuffing your wasp nest, I'm going to do that here before it gets too closed up at the top. So I just kind of, I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be greatly stuffed, because you just want it to form a little bit so it doesn't fall in on itself. But I don't know how many bags I use, maybe like 8 bags or something. So stuff it however much you'd like. And then I do a little bit more, than I stuff like maybe 1 more bag in it when I start closing up the top. Okay, but for this round 25, just 1 half double crochet in every stitch around, and you'll have 26 when we finish, and just a few more rounds after this, so I'll meet you right back. Alright, I just went ahead and slip stitched to end round 25, and for round 26, we're going to start with a chain 1, and then we're going to half double crochet in the very first stitch, and then we will do a decrease after that, and that will be your pattern all the way around. So 1 half double crochet and then a decrease, and at the end of round 26 you will have 18 stitches. So I'll meet you back. Alright, I just finished round 26, and if you want to stuff any more now, I'm just going to put maybe one more bag in the top here so that I can maneuver that around once we close up the top. We just have 2 more rounds to go, so we're almost done. Alright. Okay, moving on to round 27, we are going to do a chain 1, and then we're going to back loop only, half double crochet around. So 1 back loop only in every stitch around, and then a slip stitch when you get to the end. So you'll have 18 stitches total. Alright, so I'll see you after round 27. Alright guys, we made it to the last round. So for round, make sure you slip stitch at the end of round 27. You'll have 18 stitches. And then for the last round, round 28, we're going to chain up 1, and we're just going to decrease all the way around. So you're just going to do a decrease, or half double crochet 2 together all the way around, and you should have 9 stitches when you get around. So there's 1, 2, 3. I know it's kind of hard at the top here when it's getting smaller and it's stuffed. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, and then you'll slip stitch to the very first, and then you can chain 1 and cut your yarn. Just leave a little, like kind of a longer piece to sew in the top, and then you can pull your yarn hook out, and you should have a little hole up here, and we are going to just close that up. And really you could leave it if you wanted, but I mean there is a hole on the bottom of a wasp nest, but this is going to be the top unless you chose to make it the bottom, whatever you'd like to do. Alright, so if you want to just kind of move your stuffing around however you want it, and then for the top, let me zoom out a little bit here. For the top, I just go in and out of each stitch. So I usually just pick up the front loop, but whatever works for you is fine. So you could just go around, you could go in and out of them, or just pick up the front loop on the front way. It doesn't matter. Just go around and get each loop, and then we're going to pull it tight like a drawstring. I also forgot to mention earlier, if you make this, I'd love to see it. You can tag me on Instagram or TikTok at Creations Misfit. It would be nice if you guys could leave comments with photos in YouTube, but you can't do that, so you could find me there. And if you want to follow me over at either of those, that would be great too. Alright, so once you've gone through all the stitches, just pull it tightly and it will close up. Sorry, I'm trying to show you this at a good angle. It'll close up, and then I just kind of go through, let me make sure this is not moving. I just go through the top, back and forth a little bit, different ways, so that it stays secure. And then you can just do like a little knot. If you want to do 1 or 2 knots, I usually do 2 just to be safe. And then you can cut that yarn. And I'm going to show you how I just did like a little loop on the top to hang it. You could, use string or something like that if you'd rather, but I just did a little loop on the top, which was really easy. Hold on, let me untangle this yarn. Okay. All right, so for the top, I just did a loop this size. If you want to do longer, you can do more chains, but this seemed to be good for me. So what I did is I just took my yarn again, and I'm still going to use the two pieces together just so that it's a little thicker. And I went through the top. I just put my yarn needle or my yarn hook through somewhere at the top, like that, and put my yarn on. Kind of pulled it through and leave like, you know, a little bit of a tail here. And then I just chained up 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then I just went back through that same part that I went through in the beginning, or where I started my loop, and I did a slip stitch. I know this isn't coming across that well, but hopefully you could see a little bit. I did a slip stitch there, and then just chain one and leave a little tail and cut your yarn. And then you can pull your hook out. And then from there, I just kind of tied these together twice to make it tight. And you can just cut your yarn after that, or you can weave it in if you want. It should be tight enough that it will be fine to stay. Just cut it there, and then you have your hanging loop. Okay, so I hope this worked for you. If you're still here, I appreciate you watching. Like I said, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd love to have you look at some of my other patterns and be here for all the things that are coming up. I also do a couple, I've got 3, or I think 2 or 3 mystery patterns up so far, where it's just a short, like a short video, 15 minutes or less, and I just tell you what yarn and what needle to use, or what hook to use, and then we crochet something together and you don't know what it's going to be. I thought that would be really fun, and it's something practical that you can use or give, you know, as a gift or something, but just something kind of different. And especially if you're in the middle of a big project and you just need some mindless project to do, or, you know, a short thing to do. I have a few of those up, and I'll be doing more, but please leave a comment. Let me know how this worked out for you, and anything else you'd like to see. Again, if you make this, you can tag me at Creations Misfit on Instagram or TikTok. And thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a really great day, and I hope to see you in some other videos soon. Thank you. Bye bye.